Welcome to Comtech Systems MXIE call center training. In this video, we'll be going over login and logout procedures for the call center, softphone basics, and basic call handling for the MXIE program. To get started, we'll open the MXIE program, enter our credentials, and hit OK. Once we log in, the call center role selection will pop up. This is a list of all of the call groups that you have available to you. We recommend selecting the groups that you should be taking calls for by clicking the checkbox, and then selecting automatically apply to future logins. That way in the future when you log in, you don't have to take this step. We're going to hit OK, and that'll bring us into the main program. The first thing we want to do is tell the program what phone we're going to be using to take calls with. You do that by going down here to the lower left-hand corner and selecting Bind To. We'll select Bind To again, and this will give us our device selection. There are two primary options to use. The first would be a desk phone, and second would be a soft phone, which would be a headset connected to your computer. To connect to a desk phone, we're going to select Bind by a call from the device and click Next. You're then going to dial this star code, in this case star 27078, into the phone, and once you do that, the system will say this phone has been successfully bound, and you'll be able to click Finish down here. To bind to a soft phone, we're going to go back to the Bind menu. We're going to select Bind to Internal Soft Phone. The system will connect the phone. You'll see it's been successfully bound, and we can hit Finish. And you now have a dial pad in the upper left-hand corner, which will allow you to control your calls. Now that we have our soft phone connected, we want to go into the settings and make sure we're using the correct device for our soft phone. So we're going to start by going to File and Preferences, and then go down to the soft phone menu and Audio Parameters. These devices will differ based on your particular setup, but in my case, I want to make sure that my speakers are my headset, my ringtone is coming out of the headset as well, and the microphone is the same microphone on that headset, making sure that I'm using the same device for all three. I'm then going to hit Apply and hit OK, and now I'm ready to take calls. If you're not positive what device you should be using, open the Start menu and type in Control Panel. Once in the Control Panel, click the Sound menu and you'll see this window here. An easy way to test for the device that you should be using is to click on Recording and then check the volume level on the right-hand side. You can see here that my Stealth 450 headset is the microphone that's being picked up right now, so I know that's the device that I need to be using. To identify the correct set of speakers, click on the Playback tab. You'll see a list of the available speakers, and then select the device you think is the correct one by double-clicking. Go to the Advanced tab and hit the Test button. You'll then hear an audible tone in the speaker, and it'll help you identify which is the correct device. Then all you'll need to do is to remember these names, and you can enter those within the Preference Audio Parameter menu. And you can see right here we have the speaker set and the correct microphone. Now that you're fully connected to the program, let's go over a couple of the monitoring options that they give you to be able to keep an eye on the status of other agents in your group. The first thing we'll look at here is our ICC Buddies list. This list contains all of the members who could be logged into the group at any one time and gives you a status of those users who are actually logged in. Anyone who has a black text where their name is are logged into the group and ready to take calls, and then you can see their current status by the icon on the left here. The red phone means they're actively on a call, and the green icon means that they are ready and waiting to take a call. Those users below the line whose names are grayed out are not logged into the call center group. They may be logged into MXIE, and you can tell that by the green icon here to the left of their name. If you'd like to see the current status of other users in the system, you can always add to your basic buddy list up here at the top. That's done very simply by opening the address book and dragging in anyone that you'd like to add. For example, we'll take Caitlin, drag, and drop over into this window, and now we'll always see her status up front in the program. You can add in as many buddies as you'd like, and you can also add external numbers as well by right-clicking and clicking Create New Entry. You can then fill out external numbers or maybe commonly called numbers, and then just hit Save and Close. Now let's move on to call handling. Starting with outbound calls, I want to draw your attention to the two areas here within the program. You'll notice this bar up at the top has my username in it, and the one below has the name of the group that I'm an agent of. This is an important distinction as it sets the outbound caller ID when I place a call. For example, if I use my username, enter a number up here at the top, and then press enter, you'll see the call going out in the top user menu. I'm going to hang that up just for purposes of demonstration. But that call will go out using the main company caller ID. If I place a call again by selecting the group itself, when I call out, the call will go out with that group ID on it and will also be counted against the reporting for that group. This is a very important step for your supervisors and managers to keep track of the outbound calling that you're doing during the day. So it's a critical step as you're placing outbound calls in the system. When you receive an inbound call to your extension, it'll look like this. The call menu will show up right here at the top, and you'll see it says ringing, and you can answer by clicking the button right here on the lower right hand side of the bar. Let's start up here in the upper right hand corner. This X button is your hang up button. The icon below that will put the call on hold. So we'll go ahead and do that, and you can see over here on the left this call is now on hold, and then I can click this same button to retrieve that call. To the left we have the park button. If you click park, the call will leave your MXIE and go into the parking spot. So we'll go ahead and do that, and you now get a message in the lower right hand corner that says this call has been parked on 01. And you can always check that by opening the parked call window. You can see here that our call is parked and it's been parked for 15 seconds, and you can see who has parked it and the caller ID, so you never have to guess at which call is which. To pick it up, we're very simply going to highlight it and click pick up, and you can now see our call is back online. The next button is our transfer button, and there's actually two different ways to transfer. Very simply, we can click on this button and enter the name or extension of the person we want to transfer to and hit transfer. If they're not available and you'd like to transfer directly to that person's voicemail, you can select this option down here to transfer directly to their voicemail. You can also transfer by dragging and dropping the call. So very simply, we're going to click and hold within the blue bar representing this call, and then you can drag it over to your buddies list and let go. That call will then be directly transferred to that person, and if they do not answer, it will go to their voicemail. Now let's take a look at some of the monitoring and other features within MXIE. I'm going to go ahead and hang up on this call, and then direct your attention over here to the agent window. Again, remember, this is the section of MXIE indicating that you are an agent in a call center, and because of that you have the ability to monitor some of the statistics actively about the call center. So I'm going to click on this little down arrow and we can see the queue monitor here. This window will show you any calls that are currently waiting in queue to be answered. So this will give you a quick idea of how busy the system is and whether or not you need to speed up the call that you might be on due to the amount of traffic in the system. There may be times where you have to log in or log out for a break or the end of your shift. To do that, you want to go up here to File and Change Role. This will bring back up the login window that you've seen when you first started the program. And in order to log out of the group, you're simply going to uncheck and click OK. You'll then see that the group interface has disappeared and you only see your extension interface. At that point, you can click File and Exit if you need to close the program for the day. If not, you can simply come back from your break or lunch, click on Change Role, and select the group again and hit OK. You now see that you are back into the group and logged in, ready to take calls. One last note on closing out the program for the day. Please remember that when you want to exit the MXIE program, click File and Exit instead of just clicking the X in the upper right-hand corner. The X will just minimize the program to the taskbar and not actually close it. So just make sure you're doing File Exit when you leave. Thanks for your time today, and please remember, if you have any questions, please give us a call at 301-670-1900, or you can email us at service@comtech.pro. Thank you very much. Have a great day.